Hello and welcome dear viewers. Today let's list the top 5 superheroes who have lifted Thor's hammer MJOLNIR. So without wasting any time, let's kick off the video. I have excluded Thor, Odin, and Vision from the list as they are familiar to most of you. So, the superhero who has got the 5th place in our list is Deadpool. Anyone even halfway familiar with the wisecracking, fourth wall-breaking mercenary Deadpool might raise an eyebrow to hear that he once got a hold of Thor's hammer. The entire ordeal was orchestrated by Loki, Thor's adopted brother and perennial thorn in his side, who manipulates Deadpool into stealing the hammer. Deadpool does so while Thor is on a heroic mission. Thor drops the hammer and Deadpool takes advantage of the relative chaos to locate it first. Deprived of the object that allows him to transform into his godlike form, Thor takes on the appearance of his human alter ego and Deadpool is suddenly sprouting a cape. He goes on to take the hammer along on the usual irreverent Deadpool misadventures, ordering fast food, playing festival games, and batting around some baseballs mid-game. However, there is a catch: Deadpool wasn't actually in possession of the real MJOLNIR. The real one was still lying where Thor had dropped it, made invisible by Loki, who also created the false one that would give Deadpool the illusion of Thor's powers and in the process cause a lot of trouble for everyone. Still, it was fun while it lasted. Now the 4th place in this list goes to Beta Ray Bill. Hailing from an alien from a race known as Corbinites, Beta Ray Bill became a partially cyborg protector of his home planet after it was decimated by a demon from Thor's homeworld Asgard. On a mission to find a new place to live, Bill came into contact with Thor himself. They fought and MJOLNIR got away from Thor, which is when Bill discovered he was able to pick it up. There was no trickery involved, it was purely because he was worthy and wanted to use it to protect his people. Odin recognized this and decided the fair way to resolve this situation would be for Bill and Thor to fight it out, again. Bill won again, but that didn't mean he got to keep the hammer. Instead, as a pretty sweet consolation prize, Odin created a new hammer for him called Stormbreaker that Bill could wield himself. One interesting thing about Bill is that he was designed to be purposefully hideous, to throw audiences off until his inner nobility was revealed. Before entering into the top 3, here is an honorable mention to Jane Forster, the Lady Thor. Now moving on to the top 3. The superhero who has got the 3rd place in our list is Loki. After multiple entries dealing in Loki royally messing things up for his brother just out of a self-serving thirst for power, it may come as a surprise to learn he once accomplished his ultimate goal, to possess the power of Thor. Having been jealous of Thor since childhood, Loki had gone through just about every scheme and trick he could to get MJOLNIR, or at least get it away from Thor. When an event called the inversion caused Loki to become the god of heroism and truth instead of his usual mischief and evil, he becomes a new Avenger, and an inverted Thor becomes a new villain. Loki also finally becomes worthy of MJOLNIR, which he discovers when he reaches for it during a battle with the newly belligerent Thor. However, the inversion spell is undone during the brawl, causing Loki to once again lose MJOLNIR to his brother. Now the 2nd place goes to Superman from DC. Yes. It is true. DC Comics and Marvel had been planning a big crossover for a long time before it eventually came to fruition. The deal to produce a few crossover titles started negotiations in 1979, but after a lot of push and pull, the project ended up being shelved for years. JLA/Avengers wasn't released until 2003. Luckily it had a lot of flash and dramatics to make up for the wait. During the comics run, Superman got his hands not only on Thor's hammer but also Captain America's shield, making for a pretty iconic cover to the 4th issue. Superman was able to use MJOLNIR once to deliver an important blow to the enemy, but later in the issue when he tried to pick up the hammer to return it to Thor, he could no longer lift it. The series writer Kurt Busiek defined worthiness as not just being an inherent quality but something that can change moment to moment. Sometimes it was tied to a specific action, defeating the villain was a worthy goal, so Superman was worthy then, but just handing the hammer back doesn't count. Now the 1st place, as you all might have guessed, goes to Captain America. It probably isn't a surprise to learn that Captain America is worthy, considering his good heart and steadfast morals. Cap is all about honesty and doing what's right, but he's also not afraid to lead the charge into battle, making him fit the bill pretty perfectly when it comes to lifting MJOLNIR, which he has done twice so far. Both times involved the Avengers in some serious danger, facing huge threats that knocked Thor out of commission and left Cap to pick up the slack. The first time, Cap merely returned the hammer to Thor, though it didn't work for Superman, but comic book loopholes don't always stick, and the second occasion involved Cap grabbing the hammer after his trademark shield had been shattering in a big brawl. He used it to rally the other Avengers to fight their enemy the Serpent. Unfortunately, Cap didn't get a cool new cape out of the deal. So, that's all my viewers, this is my top 5 list on superheroes who have lifted MJOLNIR. Comment your views in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is VLR's assistant Toto. Signing off.